Hi, so I'm reading from Hope, a tragedy by Shalom Auslander, chapter 17. It's about a man who finds Anne Frank in his attic. Can I help you? Asked the young woman at the bookstore help counter. I'm looking for the diary of Anne Frank, said Kugel. The diary of Anne Frank? She said as she typed the title into the computer. I haven't read that, she added. I should. I saw the movie though, she said. That was great. Kugel nodded. Which movie was that, he asked. Oh, you know, said the young woman, the one with, what's her name? I can't remember the actress's name, you know, her teacher. And she teaches her sign language at the end. That's Helen Keller. She snapped her fingers. Yes, she said. That's right, Helen Keller. What a story, huh? So you know, just wow, inspiring. Yes, very inspiring. She died, right? That's Anne Frank. Okay, good, she said cheerfully. So I wasn't totally off. Here we go. It's in the memoirs section. I'll take you there. He hadn't intended to buy the diary. After speaking with Senior, though, Kugel began to think his best option for getting rid of Anne Frank might just be to help her finish her book. He didn't want to say it to her directly, but maybe a novel was not the same as a diary. Maybe she needed some help. He picked out a handful of writing books for her. The guide to this, the handbook for whatever, and then decided to get a book or two about the Holocaust. We have one, said the young woman at the help counter, squinting as if in pain at the word on the computer monitor. Butcher World, the history. Buchenwald, said Kugel. He wondered if Anne Frank was hungry. And one, she said, on Austerlitz. Auschwitz, said Kugel. He wondered if she needed more printer paper. That was when he asked about the diary. Kugel paid for the books and left. The Holocaust books, he couldn't help noticing, were 20% off. And stopped on his way home at Vince's, the local hardware store. My cat, Kugel said to the Vince, peed in the heating vent. Get rid of the cat, said Vince. I'm working on it. Once a cat starts peeing in a vent, likely as not, she's going to keep peeing in it. I'm working on it. Vince recommended scrubbing the vents and ducts with mixture of water and vinegar and then sealing the damn thing up. Better yet, said Vince, get rid of the damn cat. I'm working on it. Kugel purchased a plastic bucket, a wire brush, and a box of latex gloves and spent the rest of the day cleaning up from a cat that didn't exist and a mother that did, who was suffering post-traumatic effects from a genocide that happened but not to her. Afterward, he went out back to the small gardening shed at the edge of the woods where he found an old wooden-handled hammer and a rectangular scrap of pine board which he nailed over the heating vent in Mother's bedroom floor. He drove the nails through the board, crushing the wood fibers with the end of his hammer, sealing it like the lid of a coffin. He didn't feel bad for the wood. He didn't feel bad for the nails. Problem solved. There was the old Kugel, large and occasionally in charge. He liked his hammer. He liked this hammer a lot. A fourth farmhouse burned that night. It was near midnight, and Kugel had been telling Bree about his conversation earlier that day with Senior. He told her that Senior believed the woman really was Anne Frank, that she had been in his attic for over 40 years. Has everyone in this town, said Bree, lost their mind? What are we doing here? That was when the firehouse alarm rang. Kugel stood by the open bedroom window, listening to the long, mournful wail of the siren, rising and falling slowly in the night air. He was certain he could smell smoke, but it may have been just a neighbor's wood stove. He pitied the wood. He hoped the wood's children would remember him. He shivered and closed the window. He said, we'll forget she's there. You actually sound like you agree with him. It's some food and water, Bree. It's no big deal. She'll be done soon. We won't know she's there. So just to remind you, he just bought a house because he's trying to forget his Jewish identity or his ethnic identity somewhere in a small town USA, and discovers this old lady and she claims to be Anne Frank. And meanwhile there's like fires, somebody's burning down houses. No, we won't, said Bree, because she's leaving. At least, Bree argued, Kugel's mother had given birth to him. Bree could understand why he'd feel some responsibility to house her, care for her. But what had this woman in the attic done that Kugel should feel such a responsibility to her? A responsibility even greater than the one he felt to his family. Tell me, she said. I just want to know, okay? So she's Anne Frank. Let's say she is. What has she done, sir? She hid. She wrote a diary. She got caught. I could almost understand if it was Miap Geese hiding up there. That's the woman who saved Anne Frank. She was a hero. She risked her life for another. She did something. Keep your voice down, said Kugel. She could be crazy, said Brie. She could be violent. Look at yourself. One eye half swollen shut, a gash across your forehead. How much do you have to suffer before you can be done with this? She could be sick, so she could be diseased. Your child is in this house, your family, your future. What are you trying to fix? What are you atoning for? What she went through, or what you didn't? Couldn't another Holocaust survivor throw her out? Would that be okay? Could we have Elie Wiesel come by and throw her out? Maybe he has a sideline business, something to supplement his income. In the distance, Kugel could hear the fire engine sirens beginning to scream. If Brie couldn't understand Kugel couldn't understand her either. So Anne Frank stays in your attic for a while, so what? So you toss her a bit of matzah, and you put up with her annoying writer bullshit now and then, so what? When she's gone, when she's finished her book or dropped dead trying, they can all go out, toss her shit away, lock the attic door behind them, and live happily ever after. A Nazi son took care of her for 10 years. A Jew is going to throw her out after 48 hours? He turned from the window to face her. Did you even read the book, he asked her. What book? The diary. No, she said. I didn't. Did you? No, said Kugel. I didn't, but I know the story. Everyone knows the story, so what? So it's tragic. No, she said, it's not. It was tragic. We thought it was tragic. But she lived, right? She's upstairs in our attic, Kugel. That's what Will said. That's what Senior said. It's a happy fucking ending. It doesn't make it any less tragic. Dying is always more tragic than surviving, said Brie. Just listen to your mother on that one.